So I would like to say hello and welcome you into this space, whether you are joining us here live or joining actually later on the replay. My name is Julia. I'm from Transmissions of Light, and I am here channeling the beings of Absolute Light for this month's Oracle card reading. They have said that actually before the oracle card reading, there is various other messages that they would like to bring through, and that as a result, they are going to make the oracle card reading portion of this transmission much shorter than usual and use the time to bring in instead various energetic transmissions and then also some messages for us actually from divine source light. So thank you for those of you who are joining. I can see that Timo is here. So hello and thank you for being here. And to everyone else who is joining later as well. My cat just wants to say hello. So we will enable him also to do so. And then they have told me a little in advance about the kind of messages that it is that they would want to share today. So just as I am giving Toma here a bit of a cuddle, and before I put him down, I'll just share what it is that they have revealed to me so far. So they have said that it is a time of very high energy, high frequency, and also that there is an increasing quickening coming in for these times, in particular for those of us on an ascending timeline. They do want us to know that there will be many rapid changes, both within our own individual life streams and also with what we see in the collective. And they want us to keep our faith and our trust in that all is being worked out for the greatest, the highest good of the whole by divine source. A particular request that Divine Source wished to make of the Way Shower and the Light Worker community was that we would kind of come out of our own communities where we tend to gather with like-souled people and well, continue to do that to support us and to help us to elevate our own frequency. But in order for us to be able to transmit the unique frequencies and codes that we hold, we are really being encouraged to also mix with different kinds of people that perhaps we would not mix with usually, and to really kind of allow ourselves to get out and about in a variety of locations, to engage and interact with a variety of people in order that the unique codes that we hold on behalf of the collective can reach more people more quickly. So that is a request that came through for the Way Shower and the Lightworker community at this time. Then I'd like to take us into meditation and see what other messages they want to bring through at this time. And then at the end, they have asked me to share some card readings and activations from the crystal deck that they so often like to work with. So for now, oops. Just inviting you to close your eyes. And focusing on the breath. Just allowing yourself to come to a very deep and centered place within self. And they are inviting us first just to feel the frequency embodiment, what that feels like of the new earth energy. As they fill this energetic space in which we meet and come together. With those frequencies on our behalf. The dragons and Saint Germain with his violet flame. Also Archangel Michael, supporting us in clearing and releasing that which doesn't serve us at this time first. And they are particularly supporting us in releasing entities and attachments, particularly influencing the mental body. And keeping us in the patterns of thinking and learned ways, like the way our history as a species has been rewritten so that we do not recognize our worthiness, our unique beauty as individual souls choosing to incarnate at this time and to be here to serve the collective. And they are saying that And this memory too, within many of us, it has been so diminished. And that can be why we can find it hard to connect with what we truly feel is our soul's purpose here. But because we become so involved in other activities, caught up in our own life streams and the various, the fun things there, and then also various issues and problems presenting. And these things end up taking up so much of our mind space that there's less room for other things and for us to truly ask how we can be of service. What our unique role is, and why we chose to come at this particular time, and what are we indeed here for now. And so this clearing will support us in remembering more of that unique truth, of who we came here to be and what we came here to experience, and also of our soul mission. They are saying that it is really time for us to step up our commitment to our soul mission, our soul purpose at this time, so that we can together bring in those elevated experiences for all of the ascended new earth. Coming to such a point of harmony and of that unique soul embodiment and that expression of the purpose, the mission that we are here to serve, that our reach extends far beyond ourself and our individual awakening. And touches more and more people, enabling us to truly be the kindle for a greater human awakening to. It's already taking place, this thing, but to evolve at a still faster and more accelerated rate. As each of us who are here in Weishower and Lightworker roles step more boldly into our purpose here now. we are imbued with so many gifts. And now it is more the voice of our own personal guides and higher selves combined coming through. And they are saying they know just how deep the desire is to feel self as part of that greater movement and of supporting Gaia in her ascension and really helping to put the fire beneath and accelerate humanity's ascension at this time. And they're saying that as a community as a whole, as Waisharas, as light workers, one of the imprints that has been very predominant for us in this lifetime is this lack of self-belief, lack of valuing self and our gifts, which can either express as giving them away without accepting something in exchange, which if it is perpetuated for too long, then actually leads to our own burnout and not being able to continue to give. They're saying there needs to be a balance of giving and of receiving there. And they are also saying that it can stop us from actually taking those first footsteps into the expression of a gift in a more in a larger way. And if we are brave enough and we find the courage within us to take those first steps, even when we're not sure, we will feel that support of our angels, of our higher self, of the universe literally drop in to support us as we come into that greater service and to a wider group of people, a larger community than we may have served so far. So they're really encouraging, if you've only been allowing yourself to express your gifts with very close friends or family or a very small circle of kind of trusted light worker friends, to ask for the right ways to expand that circle with which you are sharing your gifts. And they do agree that it is very important that we are taking the right soul aligned steps at the moment and following our own soul's path. But they're saying that rather than hesitating and wavering, and is this for me or is this not? And then allowing that to stop us from stepping forward. So basically allowing procrastination to actually stop us from being in the expression of our gifts, that if we put a foot forward, if we step boldly into that expression of the gifts, and then our soul will be guided more clearly, no, let's move slightly over this way. No, we're going to swing back slightly in this direction. And more guidance will come in as we start to be more open and more visible. A bigger voice, a bigger presence, have more visibility in the expression of our spiritual nature and gifts. And this is going to allow the ascension energies to ripple through the collective much more quickly. So, although there is a lot of source light coming in at this time, supporting the entirety of humanity in ascending into a new upgraded expression of our being, they are asking us to truly boldly step forward in the expression of who we uniquely came here to be, in the expression of the gifts that we came here to share, to support others on the awakening and ascension path. And they are speaking at the moment more specifically to spiritual gifts. They are just adding more clarification here. Of course, any of the gifts that we possess, it's always a beautiful support to others when we share them. But they're saying that in order to really accelerate the ascension timeline to the level that Gaia herself is now ready to make quantum leaps in terms of the ascension timeline, and so to bring humanity on board, it is very importantly we are in the sharing of the spiritual gifts that we have, connecting people to their own guides, to knowledge and wisdom from the spiritual planes, from the higher dimensions, or from our journeys that can support people as they are newly going to be awakening from now. Really supporting humanity as we undergo this time of collective awakening, transformation, ascension into a higher expression of our being, and a higher expression of what being human means. So, Divine Source just bringing through her, his, its frequencies to support us in stepping forward more courageously. In having the kind of self belief that allows us to step forward more boldly on our path. And ignites in us what is needed to really transform into who we need to be in order to support Gaia's ascension at this time. And we are so much more beautifully expressed in our compassionate kindness, in our love and acceptance of others and self than we realize. And are so much more truly capable in the essence and expression of the gifts that we are here to share in our unique contribution. If only we could see how wondrous we are in that expression of the light of the higher human heart qualities, they're saying. And it is when we bring these and we combine these activated qualities and higher expressions of the human heart um, of kindness, of acceptance and non-judgment and openness and willingness to learn about others and to find tolerance and understanding. It's when we bring these elevated human qualities also into the service of our gifts that we can truly make a difference in the world. And they are saying that we are more than ready to do that now. We're holding ourselves back from taking those really big steps, which will allow us to really create transformation in our own experience of our path, because it will expand us into, in many cases, a much bigger service role than we have yet perhaps even envisioned for self. It is time to stop hiding ourselves away and to really allow our gifts to shine in service, they are saying. And then that is the message that they truly want to share with this community. So whether you are listening now here live, and I see that Yoshie and Nubia also have joined us, so thank you so much. Or whether you are listening later on the replay. That is truly the message that beings of the higher dimensional realms and our own higher selves and guide teams want to bring forward today, to be more active in that expression of the light that we are in more expanded ways, to truly serve the whole and support that expansion of light into the human collective at this time. And it is a time of many new beginnings, of doors opening for us, they say, of perhaps new networks or collaborations being formed. And to allow ourselves to truly be actively involved in this by asking our soul, our higher self, our guide teams to show us the next concrete steps to take. And they are saying that they will use some of the time in next month's live YouTube transmission in order to bring through guidance for individuals who are on the call or who send their name and request in advance. Just a very short mini channeled message to let you know what to focus your energy and your time on at this time. and bringing through more activations just to truly support us in knowing ourselves in our light, and that our presence here is valuable. Is just our presence is a sheer gift to the people around us. And then as we do allow ourselves to expand and evolve into that higher expression of the spiritual gifts also that we are here to share, we help to create those greater ripples of transformation, contributing to the greater awakening of the human collective at this time. That is the sacred purpose, the mission for which we came. And Divine Source Light wants to finish this part of the transmission by just activating through his, her, its words the remembrance in us of how truly powerful we are. So it shares. You are bigger than stars above you. When in fully expressed expression of unique gifts that you came here to share. Let these awaken in you now, that you may from heart's joy in service to human collective at this time share unique gifts that are given to you to enhance your ability to be the activator of the expansion energy behind humanity in its ascension at this time. And as well as the words, that was also a frequency transmission with the energy within that transmitted frequency being that of how powerful in our own very unique and individualized way, and it doesn't need to look the same way as anyone else who is doing this or the ways that it is looked before. Divine Source is saying this is the time for us to really open into a greater expansion of our spiritual gifts and what that even looks like or feels like or is experienced as, because the the veils are truly gone, and we are able to access so much more of those multi-dimensional aspects at this time that enable us to pull through the kind of gifts that until now um, we have only imagined or perhaps have not even been able to imagine. So trust ourselves and follow the guidance that comes through for us. If you believe or know you are being asked to do something, you can ask for confirmations, even asking your own guide team to give you confirmations, or checking with a friend, a spiritual friend, or a practitioner that you trust. But really making sure that we are stepping out in alignment with the guidance that we hear and receive, in order that we can step more quickly into that expanded self, in the expression of all um, the love of the human, as well as that higher expression of the spiritual gifts that are being activated in us at this time, in this period on the collective awakening and ascension timeline, that so that we who have been walking this path that little bit longer can really, by expanding into a high expression of our own gifts, flood that path with so much light that it's much easier for the people who are coming after us to find their way home to their true self and a higher expression of their potential and their gifts and the truth of who they are. So that is the request of Divine Source for us at this time. I am going to continue, and they just want me to pull a couple of cards. I'm just going to have a sip of my flask of tea before that. So if any of you want to just have some water or something, just as to support also those energies in being integrated, do feel free to do so. Then, as I said, the deck that they have asked me to work with today is the one that they do often ask me to work with, this liquid crystal oracle. And so the first card that they have chosen for us and guided us to today is the Appetite card. And what they are really bringing through this with this card first is an activation that we may more easily connect to source energy and really be that funnel for more source energy to come into the planet at this time. Appetite itself would like to say to us, that we are already enough in the expression that we are here and expressing as, and that it is also time collectively for us to go to the next level. And it is being demanded, requested of the light worker and the way shower community that we take that step first and really um, commit ourselves to and allow ourselves to evolve into something more than we have been before as humans on this planet. Thank you. The second card, I'm not sure if I'm going to pronounce this right, Apophyllite. And again, first, it was an activation that was brought through for us. It's like a combination of more clarity in the mind, that we can more clearly see where it is that we are being guided to step in the direction of. And then also helping us to really remove that which prevents our heart space from being in the resonance of a higher purity, whether that be negative thoughts or feelings about ourselves, about our life, the chances or the fairness of what we feel has been given to us, or whether that be more judgmental thoughts or feelings towards others. The apophyllite energy is supporting us in clearing and releasing that, so that we can come into a higher space of activated purity within the heart. And then really just on our behalf, spreading this energy into the rest of our energetic bodies and our field now. And the message that Apophyllite wants to share with us, that it is really true for us to access more higher dimensional, more angelic type energies and frequencies of self. And we already have these frequencies. We hold them. They're within us. They're a part of that greater multidimensional self. And it's just allowing the human self to get rid of all those negative things that we've been told about ourselves, the false beliefs, the lies that we're not good enough, that we don't have value, that we couldn't possibly be something greater than we are. Like, who are you to think that? Really supporting us in releasing all of those kind of negative thought patterns and allowing ourselves just to be in the receiving of that truth that we are. There's so much more to us than this human vessel, and that so much more is aligned with a much higher dimensional energy. And as we release more and more of those false constructs about self and others and the world, then more of that light can naturally pour um, through us to really illuminate the world. Thank you. So that is the messages that also the stones and crystals wish to bring forth today. And with the rest of the transmissions today being largely from divine source light, with also bits intersected by Metatron and Melchizedek, and the divine feminine, in particular Kuan Yin and the two Marys, and also some parts, I think I did mention that, from our higher selves and our guides, as well as a collected group here. I want to thank you for being part of that group who has gathered here, and whether you're here now live or listening later on replay, for allowing these activations and these messages to work with you on a deep cellular level, and really just boost us into our next embodiment of who we are here to be, knowing that we don't need to be perfect, but that we do need to be activated in our light at this time to the highest degree possible, in order to be of service in the way that our souls are truly now at this time, they are asking us to be. So with much gratitude from my heart to yours for you being here on the planet and being in that role at this time, and also for being here on this channel and receiving these transmissions today. May we all open to greater love in our hearts for ourselves and each other, but first for ourselves, so that we can really allow that light that we are to shine. Wishing you all a wonderful week and many blessings at this time, and looking forward to connecting with you again next month. Thank you so much for being here, and see you soon.